The war of all wars was about to ensue between man and machine. It was the greatest one everyone has ever seen. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Stop there for a moment, please. You're going too fast. Come on, we need a plot, everything. Come on, rewind for us. It all started when Marcus X and Levalor was born. It was back 20 years ago when they lived with their parents. His dad and mother, they were just a newly paired couple, and the father worked in a nuclear plant. It was very dangerous, but he was a good scientist. But he had to bring a substance home to research it. It was very highly radioactive, but he had to keep it cool, so he put it in the fridge. The wife, not knowing, drank some of it, pregnant, and she started to get sick, so she called for her husband. Marco, come. And that's when her stomach started glowing, but when they went to the doctor, they couldn't find out what it was. And the next day, two healthy twins were born. One called Marcus X, one called Levalor. And they both had very superpowers. Marcus X, for example, he had the strength of 20 men as a 5-year-old. And Levalor was a super genius, writing his first paper at 2 years old. But Levalor was always an outcast. His parents always put their attention on Marcus X. He was a sports guy, he always played sports, and they never put anything on him. So, destroyed, Levalor decided to leave on his jetpack to a place never been to before, where he went to a snowy abyss, and there he was taken by a man, the greatest villain in the world. It was 20 years later, and Marcus X was in his mansion with his girlfriend when he gets a call. Hello? Who is this? It's your turn. Knowing what this is, Marcus X jumps from the window with his girlfriend right before the house explodes. Boom! And jumps into the pool, where he notices that was his brother's voice. And he asked, why? Why? Crime rates rose dramatically over the past few days. Car robberies, riots, bombs, everything. And Marcus X, being the greatest superhero in the world, had to protect the people. So he fought people, and it was his third day in a row, until finally Levalor caught up with him, and he masked him and put him to sleep. And the last thing Marcus X saw was a shadowy figure. He woke up in a cave, not knowing who he was or where he was, and Levalor takes him to a robot, where he must fight him or die. But Marcus X, being super strength, rips his robot apart, but it was a very difficult task for him. And then he shows him his full army of robots to prepare. Knowing this, Marcus X runs until he gets to the Pentagon, where he notices that Levalor had already kidnapped his girlfriend and everything. In the perspective of Levalor, he was already falling in love with his girlfriend. She had compassion for him too, but he knew what his duties were. Onward with the war. We must fight. They regained their strength in the New Mexico desert, where the army of millions fights the army of the robots. There, from the radioactive, the robots go crazy and start destroying everything in sight, which is not what they wanted. So Levalor chose to take his own life and destroy it from their building. But Marcus X holds him back and says, "Brother, you have taken enough already," and knocks him out to avoid it. But when Levalor awakes, He sees a dust in the background and knows that his brother is gone. Devastated, he screams to the sky, "Why?" And all his robots are down on the ground. The army riles and knows that victory was on their side. 6 months later, him and Gina start a new life together. They live in a house by Hollywood. They start to have a new family. And she tells him, "We're having twins."